Yatayami.
Chana Zoye, Jana La, Janjo Bado, Dane, Janzoye, Naye, Jinye, Jive, Sanaye, Yola, Genje, Sanye, Yola, Yasaye, Chana Zoye, Jana La, Janjo Bado, Dane, Janzoye, Naye, Jinye, Jive, Sanaye, Yola, Genje, Sanye, Yola, Yasaye, Chana Zoye, Jana La, Janjo Bado, Dane, Janzoye, Naye, Jinye, Jive, Sanaye, Yola, Genje, Sanye, Yola. As usual, let us spend some time for meditation practice. So, by if one's practice is held by strong refuge and in a strong motivation of bodhicitta, then whatever study and practice that we do can definitely become a means to develop what we call meditative concentration, and then having developed meditative concentration, then that then serves as an aid to further develop one's wisdom, and thus entering to the paths leading to achieve ultimately enlightenment. So this is how we can see the significance from the very basis. So that with that understanding, we can engage in our meditation practice. Lama So that is sufficient. So based on the earlier motivation, one can now generate the specific motivation for receiving the teachings along these lines. That for the sake of all mother sentient beings, I need to achieve enlightenment. So for that purpose, I'll engage in listening to the teachings and put into practice well. So when one generates such a motivation, then it becomes, how should we say, it ensures that one's practice is not sort of mixed with or tainted with self-interest, or what we call self-cherishing mind. So leaving aside, of course, the importance emphasized in Buddhism about overcoming self-cherishing mind, we can see in other traditions such as Christianity, it seems that they see the self-cherishing mind as a fault as well. So thus, as the antidote or as a means to overcome the self-cherishing mind, in the Christian faith, for example, they would the antidote to overcome that would be generating single-pointed sort of devotion and faith in God. So then, thus, when an individual really goes for complete faith into God and really generates that mind that God. Whatever happens to me, whatever I undergo, it's really in God's sort of like hands. So with that attitude, then the mind, this mind of self-cherishing or self-importance is definitely nullified. So if you were to think about it, I would see this as being a very significant point.
가르나 견주셔로 이선 세지 대화를 내주 주세는 연구도와 내주 주신 열래도 이지 잡아줘 제와야 거가 세워야 돼 대용 당연히 되다 이지 대화 된 거를 손도 천번 와 되지.
Then furthermore, the Christian sort of what we call Christian ordained monks and nuns, their core practice seems to be developing what we call, generating what we call contentment, less desire, and having contentment, and that seems to that is a practice that they actually do and engage in, and so this practice of practicing less desire and having contentment also comes about with that again strong reliance on God. So when they really generate that mind that whatever I go through, everything is in the hands of in controlled by the God. So whatever I entrust everything into God. So with that mind, then it definitely can reduce the personal strong desires and being able to practice contentment. So these are great ways for them to engage in the practices.
말은 의미 내서 코로이 소선하지 만족에는 되게 싶지 배근디와 그래서 내 노지래 가리나 다레 코로이 나사벨 레 콜라니 데브가 아니 선네 셀라 렌델라 이치지 레가 롬메 바트니치 대시 추진 용건데 로 알아 로진상 원내 바트니 용건데 되네 녀레 때와나다 되네 용건데와 근데 라 디발란세 토바 게와드 토바 되네 로지 마이 젠센다 게와드 디바pon하셔 된 얘네 둘은 다 렌데지 이제 대통령이 요된 게 사대 나한테는 맛이 어떤 마음
So likewise, that's sort of like equivalent for in our own practice would be, the equivalent sort of attitude to adopt in our own to engage in the practice in our tradition would be to really think about having strong sort of faith and conviction in the law of cause and effect, law of karma. So indeed, when one has, if one were to develop a strong conviction in the karma, one would be able to generate that state of a state of mind where one relies completely on karma, and thus without being too concerned with our immediate needs and immediate sort of should we say success, immediate sort of gratifications, one would how should we say be able to depend upon whatever karma that I've created in the past will shape my present, and whatever karma I create now will shape my future. So with that understanding, not being too, one will not be able, how should we say, one will not be swayed too much to be too concerned about many desires, and being able to practice contentment as well. And so then furthermore, really with as one develops a strong faith and conviction in karma, it can definitely aid as a means to overcome even like our self-interest, self-cherishing mind, and as mentioned earlier, practice less desires and having contentment. And then all virtues, shunning negative karmas and adopting virtues, and accumulation of merit again is also dependent on having a strong faith and conviction in karma. So this really becomes a very, how should we say, a very significant sort of impetus for one's practice.
So jana dipare, dipin reba dingware. Man sonung koguro. So jeba dipaise. Dipin reba dingwaise. So dipin reba dingwain dega mendis, dega mendiwa. Tin ze tonga. So so jebona geare, gein reba deare sere, mando dean dengese, de drug iba, mando mo shigundiwa. Da nyolal kigugundiwa. 파정아서 시가 녀를 맡기지데 이치 매부다 이치는 너무 매부대 녀래요. 다이 가제 페이지 좀 간낼 수 있어. 이치는 아예 덤보이라 소제까지 센소 맞제 덤보서 소 맞어요. 콜 소제는 가려야 돼. 뭐제 소제는 디바래. 디빈 레벨들 등화마 대야 말했어. 콜 사야 말했어. 디바된 소제비 디바신 소제비 디빈 레벨들 대야 전이요 말해. 얘는 되는 선도 와. 소제 뽐비가 전에 내가 대가 내보다 대야 용거 안 돼. 용화서 사 용거만 내가 다 렌더 선도 와. 근데 봐 선도 다 녀를 배 야보자 되네 봐 선도 소제 마지 뭐게 저보서 선도 전에 선이 용거야 맞아. 레다 선대 도저 인생에 대해서 생각을 그게 저보 쉬고 된다는 대화도 이치세다 다 이시가 쉬고 쉬어가는 노밀라 대화도 이치세 빼시고 지ren도 개좀 지ren다 내가 다 만드는 것이야.
So thus Then to further contemplate on how one's basic ethics, following sort of a moral, practicing morality is definitely dependent on having a strong having sound understanding and strong conviction in karma and karma and its effects. As for example, with the non-virtue of killing, that when one has understanding that the non-virtue of killing is a negativity, and so once one creates a negativity, the results of any negative action is definite to be suffering. And so that is what is that is because of the incontrovertibility of karma, that it is incontrovertible and unmistaken. From negativity arises the effects is definitely suffering. And likewise, if one were to practice avoiding or shunning the negative acts such as killing, then that being a virtue, the results or the effects of virtue is definitely good results, positive results. So that's so thus when the Buddha says, when the Buddha explains, from the very beginning of his teaching, when he says one should avoid killing, it is based on that natural consequences, that killing leads to negativity, which is a negative act, negativity which then brings about, it definitely brings about a suffering result. And so to practice the opposite of that will bring a positive result. So with that, so when one has that understanding and of how karmas are definite and incontrovertible, then it is based on that conviction that of karma that one will naturally take upon oneself to willingly avoid creating negativity such as killing and so forth, and adopt the virtues. So if one does not have strong faith and conviction in karma, then that is where when one would easily will not hesitate in engaging in non-virtues and negativities. So thus really, just as faith and faith plays a very important, the most important role for practitioners of other faiths such as Christianity, likewise in Buddhism also faith is a very epithelial sort of what we call a most essential element for one's practice as well. When the Buddha explained the killing, the avoiding of killing is the beginning of what is the first in what when he explained morality, morality, then that is the first what he explained, which is to avoid killing. 남배톤의 시야 어디 균제톤의 시야 손을
진짜 가자
고마워
대바시야 시야도 나오면 내가 쓰지 너비시야 진짜인 거니 시야 이거 내가 진짜 손톤 시야 가자
남배기 시야도 균제톤에 쓰면 신났습니다
가자 그냥 나오면 내가 시야도 야야라 알라 어떤 대바스도 오늘 대바시야 대바니 내가 했어 너발라 이나 어떤 대화 더 하래 미치 지스 러닝 거니 바 대바시야 되라 어떻게 맞아 이제 바지 지스로니 된걸 봐이시 제들에 봐. 다 오늘 동화세 노베고 오늘 동화 한번 넘어지고 다 갸 맞다 소제 공원세 소제 공원세 소 맞제세 다소 맞제세들 소젠 디바레세 소제 보는 갸레세 다 코선돈 소제나 다 디바레세 디베 네버 등아 있는 거지 다때 간데 바치 선우지 돈돈돈돈을 ngene ta ta son ko to ai shi ba chi le ta ya da na ge de da de tin ba yi chi ma che ya ko ro ba chen cha to ba che son to che re tin ti bi de da la tin ji shi ra chi me shi na chi ye wu da ta mo te chi tin son no to son to yi ji ta la ta ngene yi chi ya bu le wu da ya ji za che so go se ren yu na le ta tin che wan de ta ti mu de
So,
yeah, somebody else said, Maja, Cortel, Son Toro, and a Giada, Mara Soja Pona Giada, again there is. So Jana Dibare, the Bing Devil Dumares, and Sigmate Shengua. That is Shenny, she knows you, that's a Santo. Santo, Penny, Santo Tening and a Sosa Rutojo, Soju Yeshe, Suda Rajing Yeshe, that Tito, Gotos and Amadu, that Ichiapo, and cemetery which in Alewa, Shutun Rotus in Red, something.
So that's what is being explained is how while both in the sort of other faiths such as Christianity as well as Buddhism will both have the ethics, morality as as a basis of the practice, such as avoidance of killing, so forth. So while while that would be the basic practice would be the same, the approach of how to understand that or how that is taken upon would be slightly different. For example, there would be unique sort of understanding in presentation in the Buddhist tradition, which is to say that while both may be based on faith, in a Christian tradition, for example, it will be taken as a word of God, and then with the faith based on that, for following the practice, mainly based on the faith of the words. Whereas in our tradition, while there is a distinction between a sharp faculty and a dull faculty, those of dull faculty would mainly base it just on faith, whilst in the sharp faculty would be those who the adherents of the sharp faculty would be those who don't base it just on the word, but actually investigate on meaning of the words, and thus using reasoning to verify what is being presented as to be whether it's valid or not. And so for the adherent or the adherent who is of a sharp faculty would based on the word which has been presented, for example by the Buddha, will then use reasonings and logic to further investigate, to check out, to test out whether that is adheres to actual reasons and logic. And then when found, after having testifying and with the process of first hearing the words or the explanation, then thinking about it, and then finally meditating on these words, on the meanings, then thus in this way, by thorough investigation, when one gains the complete conviction oneself, then that is when one is said to be developed the, how should we say, indestructible sort of faith or conviction in one's mind, which is thus based on reasoning. So this is in this way that one gains what is called the wisdom which arises from investigation, or from the investigation, and that then wisdom becomes like very sound.
Represent no and then Geshe no Jigichi, there and engage it, engage in it, then other Mayana college in a Chichena Yungura. The young and double life, how about the Chuan and the lodges, the lodges supposition. How to not to Abushi Rashi. Cars are lodges theatre, running Tashi Jenny, Shira touch, running Shira Zoma touch, Sha Tingon road to us. Don't want to get him, but she was a chili Kavaina, Runi Shira Petche, Shira touches. Yang Sheba, Nya no, so Shira and Gisem do the Mudu. Devin and Devils only can't do the Mudu, then so the Shira, no, you haven't yet told it, then he shot at Jin Jew, the church she was at.
So this would be also a good, how should you say? Yeah, this process, as explained through the teachings, is something which would be very useful to adopt in our everyday life situations, such as not to immediately, how should we say, believe or accept what something says, but rather use one's own intelligence and wisdom to and based on reasoning to find to investigate as to whether what someone is presenting is the truth or not, is how should we say, withstands reasoning or not, and then accept it when one finds it to be how should we say, based on sound reasoning. So that is not to say that one does not, seek advice or listen to what others present, but here it is not to just blindly. The main point is that one does not blindly follow what others say without using any of one's own intelligence or wisdom to just discriminate whether that is something valid or not. So. So otherwise, one would be easily misled, and if one does not use one's intelligence and wisdom. So therefore, as I regularly emphasize to the particularly young ones, the young generation, to really pay heed to one's own, to take heed to this measure of investigating and following, whatever one engages in, to make sure. To see, what are the results would be, whether there be a good results or negative consequences in whatever activity one engages in, and if it is positive results, that one ensures that it's positive results, then to adopt in that. If it's negative consequences, then to avoid engaging in that. That is the main way to go about in one's normal activities. So thus, even in a worldly context, we can see that this is something very important, but most importantly that one needs to ensure that one is using one's faculty of wisdom in a proper way to enhance and enrich one's wisdom faculty, and that is enhanced and enriched by using one's wisdom. If one does not use one's faculty of intelligence and wisdom, then, or rather, if one adopts some sort of how should we say, faulty reasonings or follow a faulty sort of intelligence and wisdom, then one's intelligence and wisdom only becomes more and more dull, and thus not be able to make the proper distinctions between what is right and wrong. So, if one adopts the practice of sharpening one's intelligence and wisdom, then it only can become better and better. That is how we train in wisdom.
And the Chagana, the Chana, Tensan, no Maden, then Malkashat, the Kajan, so the time I jet, and Malkashatunga, Malkashat to Satiata, as I have seen, careful and covered it. And she, the need that's in the church, she was watching and do. Didn't tell her. Should I so then get in the under and the Koromari, you buy her. You bring one each, Shah said you move for a Juba team or not touch about the younger. Is a tense of sad young, the man, she have women, tens of myself, then Sonny only, they are going to marry there. Tens of Sangon, Casoning, Kaya, Soning, Tembajato Marva, Cartenian, get Tembajang Maritan, Sonny Tem, and the setting.
So, yeah, otherwise, so if one, so otherwise one may be again victim to having doubts at all time, and if one is consumed with doubts, then one will not be able to really achieve anything and significant in one's life. We often find people always hesitating between should I do this or should I do that or should I and always sort of like lingering in doubts. So then one has to resort to sort of always trying to find out and ask someone else, and if that other person one is asking is a reliable source, then it might be some what do you call it, consolation, but otherwise then that, or again, if there is not a reliable source, one then is falling to bad advices. So thus to overcome that, if one as mentioned earlier, utilizes one's faculty of wisdom and intelligence, and then always ensuring that whatever what one does is based on sound reasoning and a good investigation from one side, then without hesitation one will be able to decide what to do, and then when that for someone who is habituated in making decisions based on sound reasonings and logic and proper investigation, will then be able to easily it will be easier for such a person to decide upon certain things whenever some issue comes up, be able to properly decide what to do based on one's earlier practices. So that would be the proper measure. Otherwise, for someone who's always in constant doubt, it is said that one will not be able to, because doubt is the very nature of doubt is having qualms in two directions. The analogy given is just as you will not be able to sew with a two-headed needle, likewise you will not be able to achieve anything when you have doubts in your mind. So where we have reached from our last session is so with the, I don't know if it corresponds exactly with the translation here, but is on a point where it says this. So one would be able to accumulate same even within hundreds of eons. This also applies to the accumulation of wisdom. So that is the point. Yeah, this also applies to the accumulation of wisdom.
No.
No, yes.
Geshe Doga, Geshe Doga, this, Geshe Mana, and the Yede Jachavan Doga Marriage, Geshe Tree, Geshe Tree, the shit, Geshe the Jeda Shebiala, and then Geshe Yana, Jede Jachaman Drothares, Yen the Jachaman Drothar, Geshe Mana, Jede Jachaman, Sencha somebody to me with that, the other Jed Marias, Ita, Yeshe Sotita, Yeshe Tina, Jetina, Nanda, Soji, Ja. That's a part of the Jang Yeshe Sano Soji, then Yanda, Soji, General, Cargo, Yeshe Doga, Debbie Shaws, Yeshe Doga Deuce, Yeta, Sendisogi, Sogi Tess, Yeshe Dibis, and Soko to us, Yeshe Dibis, Sendisoga, the Cara, Sena, Yeshin so Sano so 10 years, Yanda Soji, General, then Yeshe Rolling to us. Yeshe Doga Deuce, then Doga Tess, and Yeshe Debbie Shut, and Sogi Tess, and August.
So as so the part which is being explained here goes on a little bit on the earlier part which is so on the basis of this reason one should exert effort in cultivating clairvoyant power to quickly achieve the state of Buddhahood. And then further, because clairvoyant power enables one to quickly gather to accumulations. So thus, as presented earlier, that the way to achieve, how should we say, that the means to achieve Buddhahood quickly is also dependent on having developed the clairvoyant, the higher perception or clairvoyances. So that being the case, it is emphasized here that one should exert effort in cultivating the clairvoyant powers, because as a way to quickly achieve the state of Buddhahood, and the reasoning is that because having clairvoyant powers will enable one to accumulate them to accumulations of merit and wisdom quickly, or that's in this song. That's how Geshe Doga, Geshe Trosh, that coming to us. That's in this Geshe Troy, the Gogalas of Terry. That Yanda, Zobi, Shanju, so in. Yosa Zoban Daban Java T, Kozatina, T and Ta, Yeshe Gila, 10 cents, sure trucky, Jen Beba, and that's the Tomotella, Gilas. So, thus, and then, as the commentary further explains, that moreover one needs to exert a strong wave of effort to achieve clairvoyant power. So, of course, the effort here is the particular type of effort which is also translated as sometimes as the joyous effort. So one needs to have a sense of joy with sort of enthusiasm in one's mind to be able, by seeing the value or the benefits of clairvoyance, to be able to exert a joyous sort of effort in achieving them.
So Yeshe so detailless.
No. Huh? So thus one needs to exert strong wave of effort to achieve clairvoyant power. So it is emphasized here that one needs to have a strong wave of effort to achieve clairvoyant power, as to emphasize that it is not just any kind of effort, but really a persistent, strong effort.
then Yeshe Doga, Yeshe Doga, Draban Jitties, and that the Jalan Baba Chambo, she built in it, Yeshe Doga on the grass and Dutchin, the bunch of grass, the last one.
So I must admit it's a little bit hard when there's Geshe reads this particular line and the translation has already gone before, I guess. And so so here it is for someone who exerts such effort that one would achieve the 6 types of clairvoyant power. So that is what is explained.
I saw that, and I gave that and one on the other. They were then 2 months with them true to see. Me and going to my level, Charles and Dana window. Dinner lot, just tell and Baba chair, she be with any, all other, yes, you to more touch and the Japan Jogres and Jungle Res. Na lelo chela ene lelo che membi sendi so gibishers lelo cha andeno ta ngeshira macha ngeshi dibijala macha che lelo cha andeno sendi some bishers sendi macha bishers sendi ra are lelo chenja membi lelo che wa ma sendi so gare lelo cha de yum de lelo se sha ngere ta sha sha de lelo sa she mande ba se la tro me ba lo shen do do sen di sen ga da ba tro ta sen di ro ina ga da ma tro ba sen di ma le lo shan do do wa le sha she zu ne ju gang go le le sen do wa chen le lo ja chi chu gong mo ma esa so le lo che je me le lo che mo ba ten ne ro ma la sen di so good yes.
So thus as a commentary then further concludes here that it is not something achievable by a lazy person, thus one needs to be enthusiastic and generate effort. So thus again the specific effort here is what we call the joyous effort, which the definition of joyous effort is having joy in engaging in virtue. So having joy engaging in virtue being the definition of joyous effort, or what is translated here as enthusiasm, or effort itself, is something which is deemed most essential for engaging in virtue, having a joy in engaging in virtue. So thus, so for someone who does not have, for someone who does not have actually joy in engaging in virtue, can be then thus be defined, can be defined as being a lazy person. And so, in fact, following the afflictive minds such as desire and so forth is said to actually be a form of laziness.
ona tina bebe ngeshi ta ashi ta tina sendi tin bebe ngeshi ta nogere shena ona kona bebe ngeshi nje chena ashi ra kona bebe beni ta ngeshi to jela beni ne iza besa ten kona ngeshi kona na ashi kona bebe ngeshi nje ta ta de ga shena ashi ten.
So thus that so I personally would relate to this. This is my personal definition of or defining how a lazy person would be, is someone who engages in willingly engages in non-virtue. Because if in enthusiasm, the definition of enthusiasm is having joy in engaging virtue, then the opposite would be also true. That engaging in non-virtue, engaging in non-virtue joyfully I would say it would be also like a form of laziness. So thus now engaging, going further into the commentary, it explains that now it is said as in the verse 37. Will accomplish higher perception through effort. So with reference to that one, then further question is asked. So thus, if one the commentator says that if one were to ask, applying effort into what will bring about clairvoyant power, so in relation to the earlier comment, this hypothetical question is raised, which then presents the next verse, which is as it reads, without the attainment of calm abiding, higher perception will not occur. Therefore, make a repeated effort to accomplish calm abiding. So then the commentator further clarifies that the clairvoyance which is presented here it is not necessary in the case of a little bit of clairvoyance arising naturally by birth or through some power of substance and mantras, or just an ability to remember the life just past or future lives, the immediate past or future lives. So this is not the type. This limited clairvoyance is not the clairvoyance which is referred to here. That is the point. So thus the certain instances of minimal clairvoyance is that what we call that arises through some power of substance or mantra, like there's sometimes some sort of substances one can use to get to achieve some sort of level of clairvoyance, or even recitation of mantras and so forth can bring about a certain level of clairvoyance, but that in itself is not the clairvoyance which is being referred to here. So thus then commentary further explains, but in the case of a special clairvoyant power arising through the force of meditation, so this is the type of clairvoyance which is referred to here. Shujun Nondang, Sunday, Shena Draba Main Beast, Shena Draba Main Beast, and she said that Shujun Nondang, Sunday, Shena Draba Main Beast, Shena said, Shujun, they say, send it there so good, Yashi Tama Yoga Matiakon, Shena Draba Main Beast, and the other. So that's in relation to the meaning of the verse. Without the attainment of calm abiding, high precision not occur. Therefore, make high precision not occur. So thus that is what is thus being the meaning of that is being explained here. That in the case of a special clairvoyant power arising through the force of meditation, that cannot arise without the attainment of calm abiding, which is conjoined with pure pliancy. So that it is not possible to give rise to the vast power of clairvoyance. So that is in contrast to the limited clairvoyance which was presented earlier. But in order to achieve a vast clairvoyance,